Hi Gemini, here's a general look at your solar chart for July 2013. Now, this July we're getting an astrological combination which is really special. Three planets are going to connect with each other. That's Jupiter, Saturn and Neptune in a triangular shape, each planet on one point of the triangle. And astrologically speaking, that is known as a grand trine. Now, grand trines are good. Trines are good as well, but grand trines are even better. And as each one of these planets is in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, then it's known as a watery grand trine. And watery grand trines are very supportive. Now for you, in your chart, this watery grand trine is going to fall in the earth houses, which means that on a practical level you're going to be helped. It's going to be particularly helpful for you, anything to do with the job, the profession, making money, looking after the piggy bank, and practical skills. So it's going to be, and there might be somebody helping you, and somebody that you get on with as well. Because of this grand trine. Now, even though the grand trine will go out of orb, as we say in the trade, after August, the three planets are still going to be in those three signs for several months. Jupiter is the quickest, it comes out of there in a year. So the other two are much longer. So you'll benefit from this, but the ball might get sort of rolling in the beginning part of this grand trine, and in July the wave emanating from the celestial geometry, this music in the architecture spinning in infinity, could help you to discover your more compassionate side through work or connecting with others in a more compassionate kind of a way, but also for us all, help us to connect more on the heart level, from the level of our deeper feelings, and not just the superficial claptrap that goes on all of the time. Excuse my French. Actually, I don't know what the language that is, but it's a good word, claptrap. Just, tap into our eternal values, the ones that go way beyond this present personality in this present lifetime. And that's how I look at it anyway, and it could present itself to you in a scary way in the moment, but it being such a supportive energy is going to be very much assist you. Now, in July, the other news, well, the sun is in a very earthy area. It's in an area to do with finances, goods, property, and getting your hands on things, or maybe looking after things, maintaining things, moving things even, and you may have to consider possessions, property, that kind of thing, but also finances, and perhaps very much casting away for ways to improve the piggy bank. Now, actually, you Geminians, very early Geminians, will be benefiting from the first rays of Jupiter coming into this area here. And so in the very beginning part of the sign, you may there may be a bigger plan afoot, and in fact you should be thinking bigger in that area there, and maybe rising above certain niggly details. However, the devil is in the detail, so don't overlook them completely, but at least get a broader view. Something could be happening that gives you a kind of a more positive angle on things. So maybe conditions related to the piggy bank, material security, property, possessions get this sort of boost for you, particularly for you early Geminians. And but also because the sun's in there, something might need your continued nurturing TLC attention, and you could be seeing how to make the most of yourself, or your patch of ground, or whatever it is, whatever asset, whatever talent, whatever asset, whatever skill that you have. But as I say, you earlier Geminians, maybe you get, a better paid job, or maybe you get promotion or something like that in the early part, or maybe a plan, or you get on a course which is going to help you, get training which is going to help you. So something's going to expand there for you, I would say. And this is actually, if you're watching this in June, this is going back to the time, June time as well, the very, very end of June. Now from the 22nd, the Sun then changes and it goes into the next area, which is your house, actually, of the solar chart. The houses, there's 12 houses in the solar chart, and yours is the third house, Gemini, you being the third sign. And so the Sun comes into your own house, which is very much resonating with your core self and where you're coming from, meeting, greeting, socializing, mixing, mingling, and maybe coming and going more. And little grey cells firing off because there may be more going on, and perhaps more to get your head around as well. Communications equipment, vehicles, transport, they could all be highlighted in a kind of neutral sort of a way. But Mercury is also in a very practical area. Mercury has been there for quite some time, so things like money, property, possessions, what you'd like to get into your space, what you'd like to get rid of from your space, whatever it is, and also you looking at how to improve things financially. You're looking at maybe ways to do that, you parlaying with others on that particular subject, and perhaps you striving to create whatever you would like to manifest. And information exchange, correspondence, paperwork, form filling could all be centered around this very practical, very security oriented, very materialistic area here. Mercury is retrograde until the 19th, and you, as a Mercury ruled sign, will tend to feel this particularly, and maybe you'll have to rethink something, reschedule something, redeploy something, and Mercury, Mercury goes direct again and will stay in that area. From the 19th, Mercury goes direct again and will stay in that area until the 8th, 9th of August. Now Venus is in your communications sector until the 23rd. This is a wonderful one for you because it really does help you to go with the flow, bring more fluency, more grace, more persuasion to your words, and your thinking, and anything that you're doing in the area of self-expression, whether that's just day-to-day stuff or whether that's something more artistic. And on the business side of things, it's great for negotiations as well. Venus does rule money, so if you can be convincing enough, or you can do your pitch well enough, then that could bode well for you. So if you're applying for something, funding a job, or just trying to get somebody on side, then Venus here would tend to be a good time to do it. And then from the 23rd, Venus beams a very friendly light into the root of your chart, just lighting up the whole area to do with family relationships, extended family, neighborhood, tribe, or however it is for you, but also to do with property, to do with the space inside, outside, and maybe you appreciating where you're located. Maybe you're wanting to embellish your space in some way. Maybe you want to you're just appreciating what you have more in that way, or what you'd like to get your hands on. So that's another way this can work. Maybe you're out there capitalizing on an asset in some way or another. But you are likely to feel more balanced within. Maybe there's meeting and greeting going on right in your very home base. Maybe you are the guest at somebody else's place more often with Venus here, and you could be you could be really appreciating that. It tends to bring balance also to you emotionally. Now Mars is in your sign, which means that the need for you to be decisive, to be maybe physically active is increasing. It also brings more hustle and bustle around you, and in some situations a little bit more risk, a little bit more speed, a little bit more, you having to be on your toes, more stamina needed, maybe, but vitality does tend to improve when you get Mars in your sign. And whether you like it or not, you've got to be on the go. You've got to be, if it's not physically on the go, then mentally decisive, clear, see the goals, see the objectives, get on with it. And definitely it's the time to get the ball rolling. It's about initiating things. Mars energy works best when it's out there in front initiating. So you've got permission now to be more dynamic, physically active, or clear and decisive about something, and initiate anything to do with your personal self, like health, exercise, or any personal interests, anything that's dear to your heart, and just sort of plunge into situations, and maybe even others might demand more leadership, more initiative from you at this time, and you'll be working harder probably. But be aware that Mars can run you ragged, so just watch it. Don't allow the Mars energy, as it's barreling through you, to sap your energy. Learn when to say, no, I think I've done my bit, or, I hand that over to somebody, or whatever it is. Also streamlining things, maybe customizing things, maybe cutting down the time on something to suit yourself better. But, as I say, with Mars around, you tend to get the clarity, you tend to get the stamina that you need. And you can then tackle whatever it needs to be tackled. But don't forget that life is about a balance, so you need to get the relaxation as well. So don't kind of overdo it on behalf of others or anything like that. Mars can be a bit pushy, so you might come across yourself as a bit pushy to others, or it might be that the Mars energy comes across to you from others as them being a bit demanding and pushy or aggressive. So be aware that it is to do with the Mars transit. Mars is demanding that you put more effort into getting organized after the mid-month when Mars moved, getting organized to do with possessions, property, anything on a practical level, the piggy bank, and you getting proactive with what your contribution can be on a practical, physical level. And it's in a very materialistic house from the 14th, so it's very hands-on, and it can be to do with maintaining a property or a possession, or yourself in a material, financial sort of sense, or something that is your property in some way, and you're working quite hard on that. You're putting physical effort into that, but also you could be ditching something or moving something. Maybe moving it, ditching it, moving it to make things better, ditching it because it's more trouble than it's worth. Just watch your step related to basic material security, money, property, possessions. Mars can be demanding, impulsive, and over-assertive, and that Mars energy can either be coming through you or to you, so be aware of that. And your physical strength could be stretched, so you're trying to get things right, you're trying to get things how you want them to be, but just watch out for that, don't burn the candle at both ends sort of thing. Now, Jupiter has moved out of your sign and has gone into your money house and will be there for a year. Now, this is good news in my book. The planet of abundance in the house of money is also the house of lots of other things like property and possessions of various kinds, but also other types of resources, not just money. So take advantage of Jupiter here over this 12 months, and of course it will ebb and flow, the vibe or the vibration, according to the degree Jupiter's at and the degree of your sun or other planets in Gemini. So it'll come and go, but this is just the sort of the general overview. It is the area of your piggy bank, property, and so on, and it will give you the chance to splash out or to extend a little bit so that you can expand your life. mentally, physically, into fresher, better, unfamiliar territories, and it could result in conditions as well that really do open your mind up to new realities and teach you a great deal. So on another level, Jupiter here as well will help you to value yourself more, maybe at this stage in your life's journey, and perhaps capitalize on an aspect of your talent that you've never done before. Or maybe just blow the dust off an old one and, kind of take that and run with that. And you Geminians born 20th to the 30th of May, or with up to 9 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. Saturn is transiting a service-orientated area of your solar chart, which means more work, really. You've got more in your mind, you've got more things to do. They might be a bit fragmented, it might be a bit, they say the devil's in the detail, and it's true. It'll be about detail things. It'll be about techniques, maybe. It'll be about, not so much the if I can, but how I can. It'll be about repairs, maintenance. It'll be about the cogs and the wheels. It'll be the practical side. Maybe that was the word I was looking for, the practical side of life. And that is to do with the job, that is to do with daily chores, not necessarily the main employment, but it can be, and also health. And that might be somebody else's too. So generally it does mean harder work in these sort of areas, but also more assistance to others on a regular basis is more likely to be needed, and also you just keeping a weather eye on maintenance and repairs. Definitely a time for plugging away and learning new strings that you can put on your bow. So this goes a little bit with what I was saying about Jupiter, and applying yourself in new and different but useful sorts of ways. And you Geminians born 24th, 27th of May, or with 4 to 6 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And it would appear that is it. Well, I'll just mention Saturn-Neptune, the Saturn-Neptune part of the grand trine. And Saturn, Neptune and Jupiter are in this wonderful shape together, and this means that you could be cooperating with others to make a dream into reality, particularly over July and August, and a certain talent or resource could open the door to more abundance in your life, and that's particularly over July and August to sort of get it going, but it will be over the whole year. And that's it for July. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. It'll give another angle on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time. Oh, and if you want to know what the other outer planets are doing and which part of your sign they're affecting, have a look at my website. It's written up there. I'll see you the next time.